Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you're on the replay, keep watching along. There's a special offer coming up at the back end, and you want to see that. There we go, back to position. Whoops. Give yourself set up there. Good morning, good morning. Welcome. Come on in. Join the room. This is day 8, and it's actually section 8 of my book. This is conversation on sexual attraction, so we're getting to this one, but it's actually going to be different from what you expect because of what the survey came back with from the votes. Anyway, thanks for joining me. My name is Barry Selby. I am the Heartbreak Repair Specialist. I am known as the Love Doctor to my friends. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for joining me. I'm teaching a 10-day, or I guess I'm teaching a 10-day, calling it the Love Fest Challenge because I haven't got a better name for it. I need a better name, which will happen shortly. This is day 8, which is section 8 of my book. And section 8, which is, whoops, there it goes, just lost it there. I'll show you in a second, so you have that marker. Get the thing to work right. Hey Tracy, good to have you here. I saw you posted that you're on Periscope. So this section of the book is about sexual attraction. And as usual, what I've done, so those of you who don't know about this is the challenge that I was doing, which is here, which has got 2 days left. You can still join if you want to, barryselby.com/challenge. And I've been running a 10-day challenge. And each day for 9 of the days, I'm teaching a different section from my book. And I've asked the people who are in the Facebook group from the challenge to vote on the chapters for that section. So I've got the votes in for this section, and I'll give you that in a second. The last day of the challenge on Friday, I'm going to share 3 keys. Yeah, I think it's going to be 3 keys. The most potent things you need to know about, so you want to stay tuned. Watch my love scopes every day. I do teach this stuff every day. Second thing is, by the way, is I've got a very special offer that I sent to my email list last night. I'm going to let you know about it at the end of this scope, so please stay tuned, because this is a one-time offer, because tomorrow the price goes up. Ooh, incentive. It's an offer for the ladies who are single, to put it that way. So if you're already in a relationship, or if you're a guy, this offer won't apply to you, just so you're clear. Anyway, so back on track. Again, my name is Barry Selby. If you're here for the first time, please make sure you do tap on the little guy in the corner, or swipe right on the iPhone up on the Droid and tap follow me. Definitely share it on Twitter and invite your Periscope followers as well. And please tap on the screen for hearts so know you're present here and watching. And I'll get into the topic very quickly. So, in this section of the book, there's some interesting topics, as you may have guessed. Sexual attraction and sexual connection is important. But the chapter that got the votes, which surprised me in some ways, well, we'll get to it and explain in a second, is chapter 44. And chapter 44 is Connect and Express Your Authentic Nature. Sexual attraction? Authentic nature? What's this about? I'll get to that. So I want to make sure you know what's going on. So by the way, quick plug. So I have to mark myself in the book so I know where I am. Okay. I have to reference the book chapter-wise, because otherwise it's going to be confusing. I'll show you the book in a second, but I need to mark my chapter. There we go. Okay. This is the book I'm teaching from, my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It is on Amazon and is available as a physical book and as a Kindle book. I have recommended that if you want to get started quicker, get the... And I'll go find my notes. Get to the... There it is. Go get the book yourself as an ebook, which you get here. If you go to barryselby.com/book, you can get the ebook version, and it's only $10 instead of the $25 for the book physically. So if you want to jump in right away and keep up, you can do that too. I don't read the whole chapters. I just give you the title of the chapter in detail, and then I explain it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So if you're here for the first time, thanks for joining me. By the way, the sequence of this 10-day program is not cumulative, so you can jump in anywhere. So the fact you're here today is great. If you're here for the first time, that's awesome. If you've been here before, then you'll know it's building up momentum, different things, different keys that will help you get what you want. So, chapter 44. So let me give you the more explained heading so we'll go from there. Connect and express your authentic nature, whether masculine or feminine. It will deepen your polarity and your passion. Now, I'm going to read a couple of things out of the chapter as highlights for you to get to this too, because it's good stuff. And for those on the replay, again, you can tap on the screen if you're watching it on your mobile phone. If you're watching it live, you tap on the screen for hearts. You can ask questions along the way. This is not a lecture. It's meant to be interactive. So if you have questions, please make sure you do type them in the comments area, and I can respond, ideally if you stay on topic. If you're off topic, I may hold off until the end, but I'll make sure you know. So, as it says in here, masculine and feminine polarity are not automatically gender aligned, although generally it is so. Also, so it's explaining, so for men, the masculine polarity, because masculine is not a gender, the masculine polarity is generally the norm, however not always. And for women, feminine polarity is not generally the norm, but again, not always. So I'm going to basically talk about masculine and men. I'm just seeing I want to read from the book as well. Oh yes. I'm also going to differentiate macho from masculine too, because those are very different things too. And I'm going to come back to the chapter and do it without using the chapter. I'm going to do this free form, just because I can. This is my work. This is my book, so I remember most of what I've written. We'll see. So anyway, thank you for being here and just joining me, and again, tap the screen for hearts so I know you're present and listening, and if you get agreement, even more so. So, authentic expression. How does that tie to sexual attraction? Let me give you an example to explain this in more detail. Imagine little Jenny. She's 3-4 years old. She's a happy little girl running around. She likes dressing up in a frilly little pink outfit. She has dolls. She's a very happy little girl. She's in a feminine, and that's the way she is. But she also has 4 brothers. And as she's growing up into her juvenile stage and becoming into a teenage, she becomes more of a tomboy so she can compete with the boys and hang out with them. And what she's done, well, yes, special sexual attraction is having a filthy body, but there's more to it than that. That's what I'm explaining. So stay tuned. There's more coming. Because there's more than just body involved in sexual chemistry and sexual attraction. It's deeper than that. So I'll get to that in a second. So, little Jenny, who was at 3 or 4 years old in the frilly outfits, pink colours and all the feminine stuff, that was a natural state. But as she got a bit older because of her brothers, she put on a shell, and I'm going to come back to it in a second, of being a boy, being a tomboy, to have the macho energy to compete with the boys, because it was safer for her. Being a girl around the brothers wasn't working. It was basically, she'd get ridiculed. It was not fun. Then in her teenage years, little Jenny, who's now becoming a bit more aware and having developed some more of a, what's what we're looking for, attraction for the boys, I'll put it that way, starts to put on another shell around her tomboyishness because she covers it up to be more a girly girl, but it's a layer on top of her tomboy energy. Does it make any sense? So basically what's happening is she's putting on shells and shells and shells. And as we go through life, we do that. All of us do this. Very, very few people, if any, start out at birth one way and stay that way through the whole of their lives. We put on shells and masks to fit into our environment, to fit into our society, to fit in amongst our peers and fit into the world. Okay? So what happens is when we meet somebody else in our 20s, 30s, 40s, we meet them as a person with a shell and a shell and a shell, and then the other person has themselves with shells and shells and shells. So what's happening is you and your partner or your possible date are meeting, but you've got so many layers of shells between who you are, it's not authentic. Not only that, is you actually, it's almost like putting on layers of not clothing, but layers of protection, so that you're not as vulnerable, you're not as connected, and you're not as heart connected as you can be. So part of the work I do with my clients is that revealing of who they really are. So when I have clients, most of my clients are women who I work with, and a lot of times working with those women, the first thing we have to realize is what they've been doing in the world is been seen through this shell, this protection. It's not who they really are. And the work I do with them is to reconnect them back to their natural, authentic state in their heart. That's where it lives, in the heart. Yes, sex does tie to the heart. Much of people don't believe that, particularly the men. There's a joke about how you need more life experience. Well, in the sense of building the layers, it's life experience, but also with work is to then start taking the shells off, because we start learning as we go through life, those shells don't serve us. At least that's the experience I've had with most of my clients. So when we're doing this work, we're basically revealing our true self. And being authentic is also being very vulnerable. It's a removal of the protections that we no longer need. Because to be honest, they weren't there for anything more than they were at the time in our life when we used them. The shells are protection. The shells are for conformity. The shells are for fitting in. But they're not for the best authentic connection of who we are. And one of my core values that I shared before, and my periscopes before, and in my book, is authenticity is a core value for me. And indeed, for sexual attraction, if you don't know what it's like to be connected with somebody authentically, you haven't lived. So you want sexual attraction? Yeah, sex is fun. And sex is a release, and sex can be great on its own merits. But sexual attraction, powerfully, fully, immersively, is when you're so authentic, there's nothing between you and them except your hearts. That, for me, is what sexual attraction really comes down to. Preach on, thank you. So, I want to step into a couple of sidebars on this, because I was talking in the introduction about how macho and masculine are two different things. And I explained yesterday in my previous sacred union is a good way of putting it, yeah. Although it doesn't have to be sacred all the time. That's another conversation anyway. But it is authentic union, so yes. I mentioned in yesterday's scope about the way that men and women, or should I say the masculine and feminine, are different diversely. It was actually a very good scope, so if you want to catch that one, it's in the replays. It should still be up, because I did it later in the day, so it should still be up for a while. You can watch the replays on my profile for day 7. But I want to talk about the masculine versus macho piece for men especially, for women to watch this and get the understanding of this, because it will explain what you really want to be attracted to, and how men, you can be more attractive to women. So watch and learn. It's on Catch.me, but it's also, that one's still available on Periscope, because it lasts another, I did it around 3 or 4 in the afternoon, so it's got another 3 or 4 hours of playtime. So you can watch it after this one, before 4 o'clock this afternoon. So, macho versus masculine. Our world has trained men to be macho. Ever since, well, way before in fact, All in the Family, Archie Bunker, you're welcome, Steve. Ever since All in the Family, Archie Bunker, Edith Bunker, that whole paradigm where he was the macho man going out, getting the, bringing home the bacon, being the breadwinner, well, his food relationship, interesting. But she was a stay-at-home wife, and she was the meek housewife, and she was the whiny character in the show, and it really exemplified what was being taught to society, particularly in the Western world, and in America and England especially, after the war. And the macho movement basically was, it was for the men, it was like my way, the highway. Basically it was big cojones balls. Sorry, Nietzsche said there's nothing left when you peel off all the layers. There is no authentic self. Well, I disagree, because I believe that if there's nothing left, we wouldn't be here. There's an expression of who we are authentically that is transcendent, maybe, and transparent, but that's another conversation. Anyway, let me finish off this one first. We'll get to that one afterwards, if you'll bear with me. Macho versus masculine. Macho man, and yeah, I know village people saying about that too, which is a very interesting dichotomy. But the thing was, for the macho man, it was not so much. It was really basically my way, the highway, ego-based, goals, get it done, my way, done. And it was also basically, big balls, cojones driven, but focused. And the female was the meek housewife, because she was in his way at times, which is what the old model was not healthy about. Let me explain the masculine first, you'll see the differences. The masculine man, which I believe is the third evolution of who we are as men, we're growing to that now, is a man who's here with not so much a my way, the highway, as my service to the world. And what I mean literally is that the man's purpose, his mission, his reason for being is more important than anything else. One of my teachers, who I love dearly, respect his work, David Data, in The Way of the Superior Man, I mentioned this yesterday too, chapter 7, because it's memorized for me, is a man's purpose must come before his relationship. That chapter changed my life. Actually, so did all his teachings, but it's powerful. And the recognition that for a man to know his reason for being on the planet, his delivery of his gifts to the world, his service, whatever it is, if it's a project, his career, his family, whatever that calling is for him more than anything else, that's the masculine. The expression of the masculine is purpose first, relationship second. Yeah, I said this one yesterday, it stirred up some stuff, and it may stir up stuff today. So what to give you a sort of an embodiment understanding of this, the masculine man is open heart and strong spine, because it's direction with compassion. It's a focused with heart to go somewhere, get something done. Whereas the macho man is like all about the balls. It's like sexual, like polarity, control, running the show, my way, the highway. The bad boys in the sort of the 70s and 80s and even the 90s, really that's what they were, the macho guys, because they were compared to the men who were evolving but weren't there yet, who were the good guys or the nice guys or the meek guys in a way. But that's the evolution we're coming into, which is again stage 3, as I've described it, in the evolution of who we are. That man who are in their masculine really what's the direction we're going in. In fact, there's a new summit starting Monday I just looked into called the Divine Masculine, I think it is. I can check it out, or the New Masculine. John Gray, and there's a couple of people teaching it. I'm going to check it out myself, because it talks about the evolution of man through the evolution of the last few decades, where we're going and what we're doing. So back to the topic in hand, which is about sexual attraction by the authentic self. This is the subtlety, and it sounds subtle, but it's so different when you get it, when you understand it and you live it. There is so much I'm aware of, living in the West Coast in Los Angeles. There's a lot about looks and appearance, about what's attractive. To be honest, that lasts about 2 months, 3 months at most in a relationship. And for most people, that's all they want to do, is have a 2-month relationship, and that's fine. They're attracted to the person, how they look, by how they carry themselves, what they drive, especially in LA, what they have versus who they are. And true authentic relationship goes far beyond that time frame and far beyond that surface. It gets to the depth, the authentic self. And I believe Nietzsche. I want to say Nietzsche. I couldn't say his name right. But truthfully, I believe there is definitely authentic self. That's who we are. That's, as I was watching, I shared a video last night on Periscope, that was on Facebook, that I watched about, we are not our race, our colour, our gender, our sexuality. Who we are is beyond that. That's the authentic self in a way. We have preferences. We have preferences of sexual preference. We have preferences of colour we like to be around. But it's a preference, it's not a have to. And as I sort of shared in the thing, it's kind of like we are spiritual. We're spirit driving around in these human bodies, and then we label each other based on what we think we should be. Black, white, straight, you know. Is that the same for absolute honesty? Yes, and. Authentic honesty is expressing who you are really, but sometimes you can beat people over the head with your honesty. So how you share it and what you share is vital. So having clarity about your authentic honesty is being real, because honesty does change. You know, truth is truth with a capital T, but who we are expressing is being, and honesty for me is a moment-to-moment experience. Because once you find something new out, what you say about your truth then is different from what it was before. So you believe in an astrological blueprint we develop. I have a friend of mine who's a matchmaker and a relationship coach, who I just saw on Thursday last week, named Carol Allen. She is an Ayurvedic astrological matchmaker. That's quite a mouthful to say. So she believes that definitely we can attract relationships. I should say we're more attractive to partners who match on the Ayurvedic astrological chart than any other way. So what you said does have merit, because that's something I do know is true, but it's not something that I'm experienced or expert in, so I can't speak that directly, but I trust her, so I say yes, that's true. But it's not, as I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, it's not predestined. Oh, you advise people with astrology. That makes sense, of course. However, from what I was told, and this is maybe different from what you say, is that but you cannot get to deeper layers with a woman unless she feels you're honest and authentic. Absolutely. Actually, I don't know if she's on Periscope, to be honest, but Carol Allen is a name, and you have to search her on Google. I don't know what her website is for, unfortunately, but I do recommend her. But anyway, she said a couple of things I became aware of. Because I asked her, what does my name is same as my handle, Barry Selby. That's my name. Barry Selby. As you see on the book, might make it easy. Hers, Carol Allen, CarolAllen. Sorry, yes, I get to clarify. No problem. So, Ayurvedic astrology versus traditional astrology is regular astrology. Western astrology is sun sign based. There it is, Carol Allen, exactly. Regular astrology is sun sign based, and Ayurvedic astrology is moon based, so you know where your moon is. What I was told when I said, what does that mean? She said, basically is, she said, and this again, so I'm speaking from her, so I don't speak from my own truth. Sun sign based astrology is about what we're about and who we are. Moon based astrology, okay, well, moon based, I mean, again, this is the basis, not everything, but the moon, she starts with the moon. Moon focuses the feeling level, how you feel. So she is the belief that because it's the emotional content in our hearts that what speaks to relationships, That's why Ayurvedic focus on astrology, which includes all the planets too, but it's moon-centered versus sun-centered, that's what I mean, is more powerful. So I'm just speaking for what she said. So lunar feminine and female energy, yes. Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff about that, because actually it's, from what I was remembering, was it was Father Moon, Mother Earth. So there's lots of perspectives. And this again is way deep. This is a whole different esoteric conversation. We'll stick back to what I was talking about. I love how Periscope doesn't make it easy. That's what makes this so much fun, because the conversation can go way off different directions and we end up talking about different things. Still related to the same topic, which I appreciate, but still. But I want to just promote this one thing, because that's okay, it's fine. That's what this is about. You know, it's your, I don't know what Astro Momentum, what your, is your name posted? Dimitri, it's fine. The fact you're actually in the conversation is thank you. And two, you're providing me with is like conversation and dialogue, so it's not just me just talking at the screen. So it's fine that you're doing that, so not a problem. But I want to promote something. This is for the ladies, as mentioned, who are single. I offered something through coaching from my coaches to my list, my email list last night, and I'm offering it as a graduated payment system. And what does that mean? What I'm offering basically is I have an online program that's for women called the Dating Advantage. I've made it into a one package download called Your Dating Advantage. Really original names, you can tell. But I've changed it. So instead of being this 8-week program, it's now one download with everything in it. And instead of being its usual price of $400, $397, I'm selling it today till the end of the day for $49. Yes, $49. So for the ladies who are single, this is for the ladies who are single, because it's designed for women. It's not for men, and it's not for couples. It's for singles. So single ladies, if you're watching this scope, either now on the replay, up until midnight tonight, is the plan, because I'm actually putting the price up slightly. And here's the thing about graduated. As I mentioned, the price today is $49 to the end of the day. Tomorrow, it's going to go up an increment, and it's going to go up incrementally over the next week or so to the full price. So the sooner you get it, the more money you save. I saw this happen on the program, and it did really well, so I'm trying to experiment. So for those of you who are interested, for the ladies, I'm going to give you the link now. So it is, again, Your Dating Advantage workbook. If you go to datingwb, that's what it was. I'm getting rewrote it. bit.ly/datingwb stands for workbook. Datingwb. So instead of being $397, it's only $49. That is an insane steal, as I say. So I'm putting that up now to let you know about it. You can screenshot it, share it with your friends, tell your people about it. This is for ladies who are single. It's a distillation of my vision work. It's an 8-module program in one download. I do Blabs once in a while. I haven't done it of my own yet. I'm usually a guest on Blabs. So I'm on Blabs, same, because it's all Twitter based, same handle there as I am here. So Steve, are you doing Blabs yourself, or are you looking at doing some Blabs? Because I've experimented. I like it a lot better than frankly Google Hangouts or other stuff. Well, there's only 4 seats available on it. Yeah. So I think that was what I want to share. I just realized I'm just reviewing my head. If you're looking to your lesbian in a man's body, most of us are who are straight. Thank you, Dimitri. I've heard that one. I've used that one myself, to be honest. I've used that term before. It's funny to say that, but it's kind of like, yeah. I'm not going to say anything more about that. Steve, you were going to say something else, or that was it? I'm not sure. So again, by the way, just a quick, I was going to say, the book, there's one more section to go tomorrow, in the book, section 9, which I'm going to get to. And then on Friday, I've got a whole teaching on 3 keys. You should do Blabs. Okay, what do you blab on, Steve? I'm curious to know what your. So I think I've seen you on Blab. I'm not sure. What do you focus on in your Blab conversations? And by the way, any other questions or comments or thoughts on this topic or anything about relationship whilst I'm here for the last couple of minutes? Yes, no, yes. I know there's always like a 20-30 second delay from me asking something to a comment coming back, so I have to be patient and wait for a couple of seconds. Diverse, but what? Yeah, I have to wait for you to put the next comment up. Isn't typing on a phone such fun? Makes things interesting, I know. I'll wait for a second. to do Tantric Advice for 50+ men. Interesting. I know some teachers that work with men, women I know who do Tantric teaching for men, and I'm trying to think there's a couple of guys who do that too. It's not my strength at this point. So yeah, I mean, that's a good thing to reach out there, especially with the word Tantra or Tantric. It can be a very good keyword to use. So if you're marketing through Blab or through Periscope as well, that can be good to do. So recommend it. So maybe a favor, nice to have you here. Just actually wrapping up the scope. Just been talking about authentic expression, authentic connection, and authentic beingness to create more sexual attraction. Esoteric though, yes, it is esoteric, I know. So if you're doing that conversation, it would definitely be an esoteric topic. But then you're going to find a niche with that. There's an audience out there who wants to know about that sort of stuff. So it would work. Yeah, interesting. So one last time, next time, check in early. No problem. This conversation has been interesting, but I want to do one more promotion, one more time for this product, because I will be sharing this on Facebook and social media. And I did email my list this morning. I'll be emailing again tomorrow with the next price increase, because it's going to go up every day. But as I said before, my Dating Advantage workbook, what's the Your Dating Advantage workbook, that normally goes on sale as an 8-week program, so to be workbook gets a program, for $400, $397, is on sale now today till midnight at $49. If you go to bit.ly/datingwb, we'll take you straight to the website. You can look it up, and again, it's for the ladies who are single, available till tonight at midnight Pacific time. Pacific time, by the way. It's going to go up tomorrow, and it's actually going to go up each day. Each day or a couple of days. I'm still playing with that to get to its final resting spot, which is going to be a little bit higher than $49. So that's it. Thanks for watching the scope. If you want to find out more about me, you can find out my book. Just go to if you go to barryselby.com, all my stuff is there. Lots of thank you for sharing, Steve. You go to barryselby.com, you'll find out about all nice debate on Blab. That could be fun. Okay. Yeah, Steve, let's do it sometime. We'll schedule a time that works for us and we can do that conversation. It could be a good conversation, especially if we reach a good audience, because it's time to wake people up. I'm definitely about that myself. So, again, this is, you find out more about me at barryselby.com. This is where my book is, obviously. If you go to the challenge, if you go to barryselby.com/challenge. Okay, great. Yeah, please do. No problem. Thanks, Steve. Or you can drop me an email at barry@barryselby.com, because all my social media and my website is barryselby.com. So if you want to do that, that works too. So again, my book is available as an ebook on my site as a digital download, and also it's a physical book on Amazon and Kindle version too. All right. So that was the topic today, and tomorrow's topic is actually the wrap-up chapter for the book. So wrap-up section for the book, which is about your future. Ooh. That's going to be an interesting one. So we'll get to that tomorrow. And on Friday is probably later. I had to do it early today because I got a lot to do this afternoon, Pacific time. So I'm wrapping up this one early. Probably do it later in the afternoon. We'll see. I'm also exploring different times of day to see what happens, and the numbers are variable depending when I do it. And I've got commitments this afternoon, so I can't do it later today. Normally I do it later in the day, because I have a lot of people on the West Coast and in the States that watch me, so basically later in the day is better for them. So we'll see. Just make sure you follow me. So again, little guy in the corner, tap on the little guy, so you bring up, follow me. Oh, you're in Amsterdam. Okay, then I'll try to do it before midnight your time. We'll see. That's going to be 3 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you're following me on Periscope. Periscope. Mine just drifted for a second. And you'll get notified when I do my next scope. And I may do a pre-scope tomorrow. We'll see. I do have. I do put it on social media that I'm doing the scopes as much as I remember. But of course, if you miss it, you get the replay. Okay. So that's it. Thanks for watching. By the way, if you go to catch. By the way, the shortcut. Go to catch.me/barryselby. There it is. If you go to catch.me/barryselby, all of the previous archives for the last, well, this is day 8. So all the previous ones, day 1 through 7, are up there for the challenge, and also the love scopes. I've done 160 periscopes so far. No, replays last 24 hours on Periscope, by the way, if you didn't know this, yeah. Periscope survives 24 hours, then it goes away. So the one from yesterday is still up until around 4 p.m. this afternoon Pacific time. So another 3 hours, you can still watch it. But catch.me is the archive site. And if you use Periscope, get an account at catch.me. It's free. with your same, it's your Periscope handle. So that will give you, sorry, Periscope and your Twitter handle. And then you just simply check the settings and it will archive for you automatically. So all my scopes, about 150 of them are up on there, and I've done a love scope every day, pretty much every day for the last 3 months. So there's at least 90 Periscopes out there about love and relationships. So, and the last 8 are specifically based on my book. So lots of resources for you out there. Okay, so I'll be back on tomorrow with the last section of the book. Hi Julie, nice to have you join me. I'm just wrapping up the scope, sorry, time-wise. Oh, your second week on here? Yeah, Periscope rocks. I'm in a couple of groups that do amazing work on Periscope, so I'll be on. I do parts of what they call Pass the Cast or share-a-thons, or spotlight hours. Different groups call different things, where basically we pass the share the information along. You're back again. That was good. You were in, then you're out. Hi Julie, good to have you here. Just wrapping up this scope about sexual attraction, so you have to go back to what's the replay to catch all the details. Sorry. Yeah, so Dimitri, yeah, Periscope's an amazing place to play. There's only about 150,000 people broadcasting worldwide, even though there's 20 million downloads. Yes, watch the replay. And then yes, it is still available till about 3 PM this afternoon. And yeah, watch the replay because there's a special offer I provided in this scope. You want to catch that. There's a little incentive for you. But Dimitri, you have a Periscope. It's a great place to play, to share your teaching, especially if you're doing astrology. It can be a good place to do that. So you're welcome, Julie. So yeah, get out there and do Periscopes. Just do one, try it out, experiment, and follow people. Find people who are experts, who have done it before, to learn from them how they do it. A couple of quick things. Oh yeah, gotta get going. Sorry, I'm just realizing ahead of time I gotta get going. Okay, that's it. I'm wrapping up. I can just meander forever on this. It's so much fun to do Periscopes, especially with people watching. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for watching. Watch the replay. Tap the screen for hearts on the replay as well. And you watch the replay as many times as you want. Hopefully there's content you get and value from it. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining me. If you just join me now, the scope is now complete. Please go back and watch the replay. And I'll be back on again tomorrow. Okay? Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day. And get out there and live more authentically. That's a little tip, by the way. I'll be back on again tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. See ya. Bye.